Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Self Engineer K here, and today we've got some pretty cool stuff to go through. We're going to be touching on an interesting movement that's been started on Twitter, and Ecomi has also joined in on it. So I just wanted to go through that. We also have the monthly update as well from Ecomi. So there were a few interesting things mentioned, specifically the commencing of buybacks. So we will be having the buybacks starting, but I just wanted to give my thoughts on that. Along with that, we've had some interesting effects on the market overall this week, specifically yesterday and today, from you know who, and I will give you my thoughts on that and whether I believe that's going to affect my target for Ecomi moving forwards. So, without further ado, we'll go straight to Twitter now. Anyone who is on Twitter, so you can see that Ecomi, they have this kind of red circle on their name, and if we go to my profile as well, we can see that I've got it as well, and quite a lot of other people. We can see the Gale has it there, and yeah, the question is, like, why do people have these red circles on their names? And I read that apparently to signify if you're an OMI holder or not. I'm not sure if that's the kind of original origin of it, but I joined in because I thought it was cool. The hollow red circles, if you know, you know. But a lot of people have started joining in on it. I think this kind of stuff is always pretty cool. It definitely raises awareness when people start seeing this. They get curious and start to wonder, like, what is it about? But at the same time, some people might see it and think like we're in some kind of weird cult. So it can be perceived either way. But either way, I think it's cool. I think it's a fun thing to do. And on that point, I did also want to touch on the Ecomi monthly update as well. So we had some pretty cool updates. If we go down, so they shared the interview that we did with Trevor. Definitely watch that if you have not. It's definitely a good one to watch in terms of getting that kind of understanding of what happens in the background in terms of the kind of more technical development side with the collectibles. And there was a lot of stuff that we went through that even I didn't like, I wasn't aware of. So definitely watch it. It is a bit long, but it's worth it. Or if you don't want to watch the whole thing, just at least watch the first 30 seconds. It's got a really funny intro. Um, and on that point, what I did also want to talk about is, so Roger and Cohen, so they have started to kind of do some of the advertising for Ecomi. Specifically, they had one of their sort of forums where they had Kevin Smith and the CEO Dan Crothers as well. They discussed kind of the development progression of NFTs moving forward. So definitely watch that. That is pretty cool as well. And yes, we got the Ron English here with David Yu, Mr. David Yu, Diamond Hands. Immutable X that is coming, and I believe once they are on Immutable X, they will have a lot of these technical issues with when it comes to chain compatibility. Those will all vanish, and Immutable X is still a carbon neutral platform, so people will the more environmentally conscious they will be more attracted to VeVe because their competitors aren't as carbon neutral as VeVe. And yeah, the Comic Con stuff, so I shared that yesterday. Do check that out. And exchanges, OMI token utility. So this is a pretty interesting one. Now, we know that we are going to be getting OMI to NFT. So that's going to shake up the tokenomics quite a bit as well. But it's also going to give OMI holders more utility. Now, as we start to onboard non-crypto users to VeVe, those non-crypto users will ultimately be exposed to OMI, which will, as a result, some of those will be converted into buying OMI as well. And that is going to be good for OMI holders in the long term because right now, the only people buying OMI are people who are already introduced to crypto, but they're targeting people who are not, crypto heads. They are just people who like the brands that they're investing in. And, OMI is just in their face. And if they can buy OMI and if that's going to help them purchase these collectibles, then they will get OMI. So we know that that utility is going to be pretty good for us. And we know that also. So if we just have a look at this paragraph here, of course, collectible purchases in store will continue to burn tokens from the in-app reserve. And with our final legal accounting sign-offs expected within the next few weeks, the token buybacks will commence by the end of June. So what this means is within the next few weeks probably means not end of June. It'll probably mean, end of July at the earliest. I've just, you never know what can go wrong. There might be some issue legally, some additional documentation. So I would say don't, make decisions based off of a firm date. Just take the date as a kind of rough zone of when something could happen. I already knew that we probably weren't going to get the exchanges when it was announced for a certain day. It would have been nice to, but I'm not going to make any decisions based off of that. So I would advise not to make any decisions. Pump up buying OMI in whilst expecting a huge buyback in June. To be honest, the buyback isn't going to be one chunk anyway. Like legally, that's not how it works. They have to do it in kind of increments as well, so they don't affect the volatility of the market. Like from a regulatory standpoint, that is how they have to do it, since they are a proper registered company. So that's just something to be aware of. And we did also have some pretty cool, funny pictures as well. And I think they had, so they've got like the David U Supergirl, the Reese Mirror, is that Daniel Crovers as well. Okay. So yeah, what I did also want to touch on is just the daily price. So OMI is forming a pretty huge wedge. We are still, pretty much on course here. Now the price did touch here and it came straight down. It would have been interesting to see a breakout, but I am not complaining because again, I do have one more big purchase of OMI in 3 more weeks, and I'm hoping the price stays low for that. So Elon Musk, he tweeted out some picture that was to do with a breakup, and he did hashtag Bitcoin. People speculate with that, assuming that he's kind of lost interest in Bitcoin, and then we had another kind of market dump. We had a bit of a recovery, the market went up by 7%, and it just went backwards by 7%. And obviously, OMI followed that. So again, OMI is following Bitcoin. It's not doing anything too crazy right now. It is still following our trend line as well. So I would say, don't worry. We are approaching, this point of intersection on our wedge. What could happen is, I think, because we won't have any big news anytime soon, unless Bitcoin suddenly starts to break out as well, I think we are just going to hit this point and just trade sideways, like we did, quite recently as well. We were just trading sideways for a bit before the price started to move out. So I think long term, this is all just going to be tiny blips on the chart. I see OMI easily breaking that 1 cent mark again, because we've got way too many good things to look forward to. We've got San Diego Comic-Con to bring non-crypto users. We've got the new exchanges rolling out. We've got the buybacks. We've got the new utility as well for OMI to NFT. We've got, the VeVeWorse as well. We've got VeVe and, just all of the amazing content they're releasing. There are way too many good things for this to go backwards. And on top of that, the overall crypto market will rebound and OMI will follow that. So wherever OMI was before the crash, I do see it going back there and then going beyond that as well once we get some more good news. Now, yes, we were trading speculatively, so I see it, not going straight back to 1 cent as soon as the crypto market recovers. I think when the market recovers, around about 0.6, 0.7 cent is reasonable. And then with all the other good news, we will be pushed beyond that. And one very, very good exchange listing will definitely help, get us beyond 1 cent. But then we've got all the other good news to look forward to as well. So I'm not fussed. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I had to go through with you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe to support the content. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.